Hi there, theorists. Neil here again with Option Theory. I want to welcome you back. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020, and it's time for our portfolio review. So no cherry bomb trade today. Tune in tomorrow, the 14th, and we'll get our first cherry bomb trade of the week in. So what we like to do on Mondays, of course, is take a look at what's going on in our portfolio, see what's up for management. I've started to use the chapters feature down below, so look for that in your phone or on the computer. You can scan through the different chapters to see the sections that you're interested in. So because it's new to me, I'm going to outline it first. Of course, the beginning will be the intro. Then I've got my piece of paper here. I'm going to do a portfolio overview where I'll cover how many positions we have on. We'll look at that both in a ThinkOrSwim, because that's where we do our simulated trading here, and inside of our Trello trade journal. We'll take a look at our portfolio delta and theta. I think I have that pulled up. Take a look at the P&L. Also take a look at the futures to see what the outlook might be for the beginning of the week. And then our third chapter will be the trades for the past 7 days, what we've opened and closed. Fourth chapter will be the management. We're looking at candidates that we can manage. And 5 is just a thank you and, of course, an ask for a like and or subscription. All right, everybody. So let's get started. That's the end of our introduction. Let's move on over to the portfolio overview. So inside of ThinkOrSwim here, I'm in, of course, my simulated trading account. And we've got our monitor tab with the sub tab of activity and positions. You can see here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions presently on. And I currently have it beta weighted to the SPY because that's what I prefer to do, right? So we can see now we have 10 positions. We'll take a look at our overall portfolio delta that's beta weighted. We can see that we're at 7, or we'll call it 8 beta weighted shares of SPY. So that means should the S&Ps be going up today, it's like we would be long 8 shares of SPY. So I want to go ahead and get ahead of myself. That's the fourth part of our overview. We're going to take a look at the futures. All right, that's the delta. Do I have theta on here? I do. I have a theta value of, we'll call that $12. So every day that passes by, I should be collecting about $12 in premium. Now, we do have one not so awesome position presently on. This was a long put vertical where we took a guess that Apple was going to come back from its highs, and it didn't. It kept going. Of course, we'll take a look at that. So overall, since my portfolio got reset unexpectedly and we started a new trading account, we are down, let's call it $900. And that's okay, right? This is where, we know we're going to take some losers, but we have had over, I think, an over 80% or close to 80% win rate, right? So some of our losers where we had to manage, where we had some crazy moves in this current environment, that's why we've taken a little bit of a loss. Compare that to what probably most of the people that just buy and hold, we'll call those value investors, right? May be experienced, right? So putting the probabilities in our favor, that's what we do here. All right, so the last part of our portfolio overview before we switch over just to our Trello tracker is the outlook. So we know we're looking at a beta weighted delta here that is 8 now officially. And we can see that the S&P futures are looking up, NASDAQ's looking up, the Dow's looking up, Russell's up. So we're looking at probably a day where our portfolio will see a positive PL for the day. Let's keep our fingers crossed on that one. Not that we can hold our breath and expect it to stay that way with the, it seems that the corona is coming back, right? Okay, let's take a quick peek over at our Trello tracker. And we can see here, I just added these cover photos. I'm still kind of playing with it. I like seeing, this should say of max profit here as well. When I put something over in the closed for profit, I like to add a little picture. I do this with Canva, in case you're wondering where those come from. But just a quick analysis, I can see I've got anything that's short put or short call are definitely on my radar for management, those undefined risks, right? So let's see, short verticals, I got 2 of those. Oh, a long vertical on that one. That's our Apple trade that's going to close this week, probably for a max loss, right? But hey, it's the debit that we paid for it. we have 4 iron condors that we have not managed. They didn't need management. And let's see, we have a strangle. So that is also something potential for us to look at because it is undefined risk. So that's that. And of course, we can always head over to this calendar view and see what we're looking at as management wise. We're here on the 13th. Like I said, I'm not managing these iron condors. These guys I want to take a look at, but they didn't make sense to manage then. So I'm thinking they're probably not going to need management now, but we'll see. All right. That is our Trello trade tracker. If you're interested in that, I'll throw a card up, or there is the card. There, you saw it right there, right? Click that if you want to go back and watch that video. All right, so heading on to the next chapter, let's take a look at our trades for the past 7 days. So back in that ThinkOrSwim, over in the Monitor tab, but instead this time we're going to go to the Account Statement sub-tab here, which apparently has a keyboard shortcut of Alt-2. Am I brave enough to try that on camera? Look at that, it worked. Alt-2. All right. So here we have the past 7 days here. And to get this, if you're not seeing this, make sure that your account doesn't, up here where it says margin for me, make sure it doesn't say total all accounts. You want to have a specific account. So in this case, margin or IRA, right? And then we want to look over here and see 7 days from today. You can set that to any of these values or a custom number or a date range in here. Right, so we can see here that we put on Disney. We took off natural gas for a profit on that one. So yeah, that's exciting. Let's see, natural gas. What did we end up doing? Okay, so $40. That was a 50% profit, right? That was on that Trello tracker. And we have put on in TLT a iron condor. MGM was that. Short put vertical. No, that was our, sorry, that MGM is our strangle. And here we have our short put vertical in Netflix that we actually opened and closed that day. I think it was a $50 profit in one day, which was roughly 30%. When I get 25 to 30% in one day, thief in the night running, right? Can't catch me now. So you guys might, if you put that on, might have left that on. I'm curious to see how that works for you today. You might even benefit today because it looks like we're going to see some continued upward movement in NASDAQ. But you never know. Maybe Netflix people are going to take their profits after an 8% up move on Friday. Wow. All right. So you can see here I have my profit and losses so far for the year ranked in the losers at the top. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losing trade positions so far. These aren't the individual trades, so there could be more than one technically, right? Some of these have had more than one, but when we did the math before, right, we saw that we were near that 80% win rate. All right, so that is the trades for the past 7 days. Take a look at management. So I want to go over to the Analyze tab, and I head over to the Risk Profile to do this. Personally is how I do this. And then I click on this drop-down arrow and head over to Positions. So we know that Ford was one of those short put, or short, in this case it's a short put, right? And I want to set my slices to break even at expiration. And we're looking at a 61% probability of profit on this trade. So most likely what we're going to be doing is leaving that here. We could consider rolling. We'd have to roll to a weekly because we're not on a standard. We need to be on like a, a round number to be able to do that. But I'm liking the probabilities on this case. So we'll see what happens today with Ford. All right. Now I think we had another short one. Let's go back to that. What were we here? Ford and Love. Okay. So let's change this over to Southwest Airlines. And we can see here that we're looking at a 75% probability of profit. And how many days left to expiration on this one? We're looking at 18 days to expiration. So this should likely make a nice move for us today. And I think this is also one of those that's misleading here, right? So you might think, okay, 44%, that's worth closing, right? We also have to look at the year-to-date profit and loss on that one. Okay, or I should say, here's the year-to-date on this one. We're looking at $119, right? Where realistically, this is actually because we rolled, we took a loss first. I'd like this one to be higher So I think I calculated I needed a 67% profit to reach what actually would have been a 50% profit. All right, so that is one last thing I want to look at. I think was MGM, we said. Take a look at that risk profile. Okay, giving me a fit here. There we are. All right, so we remember when we put MGM on, we weren't really a big fan of it. It was one of those trades that looks like it was going to lose in the beginning. But here our probabilities are looking pretty darn good. We are in a 80% probability of breaking even or better, aka profiting, right? So this one is going to remain. It might begin to test us this way with the market moving up, but I'm going to leave this one on. This is definitely not in really testing any of the strikes. Okay, so all right, everybody, that was our portfolio management. I know it was a longer one for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, would you consider hitting that subscribe button? If you are returning, thanks so much for returning. I hope I've earned your like today. Would you consider hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already? And I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's Cherry Bomb trade. See you soon.